As soon as I read the brief description for Aviation Vacation, I thought this is Warner Brothers' opportunity to make fun of other cultures, and honestly, that's exactly what they've done. There are bits that are beautifully animated. For example, we have this gorgeous pink tinted sky at one point, which was really stunning, and the design of the planes are really great, and we have some good sound effects. But they definitely went with the theme of let's look at other cultures, some of which we'll make more fun of than others. This is a Warner Brothers cartoon from 1941. It's directed by Tex Avery and written by Dave Monahan. Voices are provided by Mel Blanc and Bill Days, and is narrated by Robert C. Bruce. And the premise is pretty straightforward. We are the viewer, we are in an aeroplane and we're going around these different parts of the world. And I don't want to say too much about the kinds of cultures it addresses because for me that was part of the fun of wondering where we'd go to. But I had my suspicions, I'll be perfectly honest, and I was right with at least one of them. And the depictions of certain characters, I believe they referred to them as savages, if I'm not mistaken, and it was really awkward and probably one of the worst, most uncomfortable depictions in any Warner Brothers cartoon ever. Thankfully, it was quite brief. It's not the full cartoon. Um, when we went to Ireland, I kind of thought, is this going to be really offensive? But actually, I mean, I'm not Irish, so I can't take offense, but it actually wasn't. It was quite beautiful. The character was a bit weird, though. The caricature, I feel like the character was a caricature of somebody because whenever Warner Brothers did caricatures or they did characters that were meant to represent somebody, they've just got a different animation style. I guess they look more realistic and more human. Whereas, when you have characters like Elmer Fudd, they don't actually look realistic. But with this Irish singer, it looked like it was meant to be representing somebody. So if anybody knows anything about that, please feel free to let me know. But actually, that wasn't too bad. And there were a few bits here and there that were okay, but my suspicions that they were going to be less than kind in certain cases was unfortunately quite true. And it meant that it was quite an unpleasant thing to watch. As I said, though, it's beautifully animated in certain parts. The sky, the pink sky, I thought was beautiful. The planes had a pretty decent design, they weren't too bad. It's just unfortunately the substance of the actual narrative that's a bit awkward, more so in some places rather than others. Would I recommend it? Probably not, to be honest. I also feel like the pacing wasn't great. Like, considering the whole concept is to visit different places and different cultures, we didn't actually get to visit that many. We didn't get to see that much or experience that much. So I don't really feel like the pacing was very good. I just don't think it was a good execution of what could have been an interesting narrative if done well. But it wasn't. So unfortunately, apart from some pink skies and some pretty planes, Aviation Vacation unfortunately was what I expected and probably even worse than that. It just wasn't a good use of that narrative. It's just not a good cartoon.